There's a man I know, met a woman, and they kind of met on social media. They interacted on social media, took it to the phone, and again, hit it off immediately. All right, immediately. And felt a connection like no other. And so I want to say a couple weeks into dating, everything is going really well. It's intense. It's moving kind of fast. They hadn't officially gotten a relationship yet or anything like that. But, them both being spiritual, she was like, pray about it. Like, pray about if I'm the one for you, we should move forward. What should we do here? Right. And so he was hesitant. The guy was kind of scared because he really liked this woman and he wasn't sure what he was going to hear from God. But he did it. And so he prayed and he heard God say, yes, this is the woman for him. And so he took that yes and he ran with that yes, okay? That's all he needed to hear because he was already into her. So this was just confirmation for him. So boom, head first. Make a long story short, things start getting thrown off. Because you got to understand, when two people have a connection, I think there's this belief that everything's just going to run smoothly. That's not true. Connections are very intense. They can make people feel very vulnerable. If there's any lack of healing, it will get exposed. There's a lot that can go wrong if we do not handle it correctly. But again, and the handling it correctly is the point that I made. You gotta slow down and pray some more. Because the mistake that man made is no different than the mistake the woman made. In the sense that for the woman, she never even asked God if this was the man for her. For the man, he didn't ask God how to proceed. When we feel like we have met the one, whether they are or they aren't, we need to make sure we verify with God. And then we need to ask God, how do we proceed? Because sometimes you can meet that person. God could send you the one, but that doesn't mean it's time for a romantic relationship with them. I wholeheartedly believe, and I say with confidence, that right person, wrong time does exist. There's a purpose for why God would let you cross paths with the person who is for you, even though it's not time to be with them. Because many people say, but why would God do that to you? Why would God bring this person in my life right now? Listen, this is just one analogy, all right? Think about it if you were a parent and you have a child and your child has been asking you to buy them a car, right? And you absolutely have a car for them, you plan on buying them the car, you know what's for them, you're gonna take care of it, but you need them to gain some certain skills, you need them to get some things in order to become more responsible. Okay? Before you can hand this car over to them. Now, this kid is constantly asking you, how I'm waiting for this car. When am I going to get this car? And you're like, trust me, you're going to do what I need you to do, right? But they're still just focused on the car. They want the car so bad. And so one day you say, you know what? I'm going to show you the car I got for you. Here's the car. This is to show you that I already took care of this. Now that you see it's here, go do the work that I've been telling you to do. And that's exactly what God does sometimes. It's like, here's the blessing. Here's what I have for you. It's coming. It exists. It's right here. But I need you to do the things I've been trying to tell you to do. I need to wake you up. And sometimes we don't wake up until we believe it's even there for us to go after. Because it's very easy to lose faith, to lose motivation, to lose the willingness to put in the work if we don't think the prize exists on the other side. Now, I'm not saying this is going to always be the way it works out, but I do believe that can happen. I do believe that it has happened to many of you. And so this is one reason why we are allowed to cross paths with an individual before it's time, as well as that person may be what triggers certain things in us that need to come about before we can come together with them. But to get back to the original point, this is why it's not just about asking God if they are for us, it's asking God how we proceed. Because we have a very bad habit of once we get the blessing, we think we don't need his guidance anymore. We think we're good now. Oh, I always knew how to be in a relationship, so I'm going to be okay. No, you don't know what's going to be required of you in this situation specifically. You may not understand the purpose that needs to be carried out. You may not understand the small little details that need to be handled a certain kind of way in order to make sure you guys do not fail and fulfill the mission together. So it's important that we don't just toss God aside when we feel like he sent us the one. No, we pull him in or we draw ourselves to him even more. This is the time to get even closer to God. This is the time to, again, pray more, fast more, making sure we are getting his guidance every step of the way and not thinking we can just handle it. The second thing I want you to be mindful of when God sends you the one is be prepared for chaos. Now, let me clarify that. One, I'm focusing this point on, let's just say this person is the one. You handled step one. You prayed about it. You asked God. You feel in your spirit, this is it. The connection is there. Everything is there. Okay, great. When I say be prepared for chaos, let me share this with you. I have come to the belief that, and this is not in all situations, but in many situations, when two people are supposed to be together, they will have a hard time getting together, staying together. At the very least initially, but yes, even throughout. More so than the two individuals who don't belong together. And the reason is because, whether you want to call it the devil, the enemy, whatever, he does not want to see a relationship brought together by God come to fruition. Because two people who belong together is a powerful force. Two people who belong together under God's guidance are going to be able to walk in purpose together and accomplish amazing things and have a very positive impact on society. That's the last thing the devil, the enemy, desires. Hey, thank you for watching this video. Be sure to check this one out right here, and I'll see you there. Relationships are the key to a successful life. But there's 5 areas that we have to be mindful of when it comes to relationships. There's relationship with God, relationship with ourselves, relationship with family and friends,